All right, guys, good morning. Good morning. Welcome aboard to the Morning Note. My name is Carlos Garcia, founder and CEO of GAR Capital. It is Thursday, September 14th, 2023. Glad to be with you today. Got plenty to talk about. We had CPI yesterday. We had PPI today, this morning. We also had the ECB, European Central Bank, raise rates as well. We've been talking about that euro dollar short. That thing collapsed. Awesome. I'm just happy that that worked out. That was a sweat, that was for sure. We also had retail sales. So a lot of ground to cover, but rather quickly, let's go around the horn. Dow futures are up 161 points. Inflation be damned. We're going to go over those headlines. NASDAQ up 0.42%. S&P up about 0.5%, 45.38 this morning. 1874 for Russell. We talked about Russell being high beta. You know, when it comes to the small caps, that's kind of a leading indicator. Right now, we're not in the best place in terms of rotation. We know the Magnificent Seven tech stocks and AI, excuse me, are levitating this market while small caps are underperforming. But so it's good to see them catch a bid. So rates are up this morning, 4.251% on a 10-year. The dollar is up this morning, 0.34%. The VIX is down 1.71%. Yields are up, the dollar's up. What gives, Carlos? Why is the NASDAQ up? Didn't we talk about it's never one for one? It's not exactly. It's just a way to explain things. There's an example. Again, we had a hotter than expected producer price index. We had a hotter than expected CPI number yesterday. Seems like the market's just getting bad news, right? Remember when the inflation number was like the biggest deal? Man, you had to be ready for that CPI number. I remember it. Remember in a high inflation environment, that was very important in 2022. But now inflation is gradually reducing. And I guess the emphasis, I've noticed in the past maybe 2 months that CPI doesn't really move the needle as much anymore, which is really interesting. The market was green yesterday at close, but flat. You know, you would expect tons of volume. The NASDAQ had some volume, but S&P 500 had its lowest volume really since last Friday. So pretty quiet. You know, you would think CPI, you know, inflation, the Fed and all that stuff. It seems that today, you know, buyers don't care or shorts are getting out, one of the two. I still think we go higher. I've been saying that for a while. We held some key supports, got stopped out on NASDAQ as we know on a stupid ass wick. This thing's happened, just an ugly week so far. But looks like we have an opportunity to make it at least a pretty good week in terms of options. So let's keep going here. Crude oil. Its highest point since November of 2022, hit $90 a barrel. We talked about that golden cross. I remember I tried to short crude oil, trying to retest at least the 85 level or reject the 85 level and at least go retest some support, maybe the 20 when we were at an elevated RSI. So remember that RSI was right around 70. And again, we talked about that. That was about a week and a half ago. If you guys want to check it out on YouTube. We got pretty much back to break even, and then right at 6 a.m. on that day, that's when the Saudis announced OPEC cuts, and that's what oil's been right now. So the dollar doesn't matter, the yields don't matter, hell, demand doesn't even matter in terms of crude oil. Again, the price action dictates all. Crude oil still has more to go. Right now, we are long XLE. That was part of our watch list this week. We wanted to really keep an eye on that. We're getting that breakout. Looks like we're going to test those all-time highs on XLE right around 94-ish. I have the 94 calls. Microsoft, that one made us sweat a little bit. Just yesterday, boy, were we hurting on Microsoft, and now it's finally coming along the way we expected it, bounce off that trend line. So yesterday didn't feel good, that's for sure, when it came to the price action, because there was nothing going on. Gasoline futures, $2.75, up 0.74%. Gold is down 0.25 point. Silver down 1.41%. Copper down 0.62. And then we have euro dollar down 49 pips. We discussed that. That's at 106.80. We got in at 107.32 was the signal. So it's right around 50 or so pips on euro dollar. Party on. Dollar yen 147.31, down 15. Pound dollar 124.45, down 43, and Bitcoin and Ethereum. You know, these are the risk on leadership group. You know, if Bitcoin is coming higher, more likely stocks are going to go higher. And it looks like we're going to trek along to around that 45.60 area. If we get that break, are we setting up for a inverse head and shoulders? Yeah, probably. Break 45.50, guys. We're probably going to move a little bit. We are above major moving averages, so 4,600 ain't out of the realm of reality. So this little gap up in terms of the S&P rollover to new contracts. We have OPEX on Friday. Obviously, that helps a little bit. Let's answer some questions. Good morning. Good morning. How are we feeling about QQQ today? Let's take a look at it. I definitely feel better about QQQ today than I did yesterday. That's a fact. On the daily, you're bouncing off the 50. That's a really good sign. In terms of what I would be looking for, I already have Microsoft calls, so I don't think I want to hit this and hold risk into the weekend. JPM got absolutely obliterated. I had puts on JPM, which was in the money on Friday, mind you. And Morgan Stanley, of course, price upgraded the JP Morgan, and that's where it went. So my thesis on financials going down this week did not work. Where Carlos was wrong, it happens. It just sucks that we got hit with that one. Oh, what a shame. But it happens. You guys have been with me for a minute. You know, if we get these headlines, they're just very screwy. So in terms of Qs, I would say 377. I'm going to place an alert there. If we break above it, hey, 380 calls, worth a shot. Why not? The only thing that makes me hesitant about Qs is that this guy here, Apple's not complying. The new iPhones, I guess, are not giving enough traction as of yet in terms of the stock. Just remember, we were just before the event, maybe a couple days before the event, we were right around 180 or so. Actually, that same Tuesday, we were at 180. We're now at 174. If stocks are going to bid, if S&P wants to go a little higher, I expect at least Apple to get to around 176. Is that tradable? No. There is a gap to fill at 180, 128. Maybe if we get above 178 or something, we can maybe take a shot at it. But that's what's going to hold back Qs. Apple needs to bid for that to move. The ARM NVIDIA deal thoughts. I would say this. I would say good vibes. The fact that we're actually getting some deal making, some IPOs. We've been bone dry in terms of IPOs. So those are the investment bankers on Wall Street that do the rodeo, meaning the rodeo show, meaning they have to show all the documents. They're offering documents and offering to investors. The high net worth individuals, private bank and such. They get the first dibs. The big corporations too, as you sell the initial public offering. With that being said, I think that that's going to be a benefit, as if this IPO is rather strong. Again, you're going to get more IPOs trying to come into the market, and again, that will show some activity at least. The problem is that unless we get added capital, to the stock market, we need to drain a little bit out of those money market funds that are at all-time highs in cash people are sitting on. If we can get some of that going into the stock market, that's going to be a benefit, because if the IPO comes out and is strong, what are you going to sell to buy it? Or are you going to put fresh capital to work? So that's what we're looking for in terms of the IPO. What range is it open? Instacart wanted to IPO, 2 years ago? They did not do that. Now the valuation is basically cut more than half. So, I mean, it's all about timing too. You're trying to catch the right time to do these IPOs and see if there's any demand or any bites on those shares. Hoping for a good one, obviously, but will there be some selling in order to buy the IPO stock? Let's see. We're going to be red for the end of the week, hopefully. On Qs, oh, well, I don't know. If S&P starts moving and you got that inverse head and shoulders, you start breaking 45.50. Yeah, look at Microsoft go, guys. We're about to be in the money. Sweet. Apple, I just talked about it. Fit vibes. Apple, again, above 177.50, 178. Maybe you could talk about that gap fill at 180, 128. I said I don't like Qs here because of the fact that Apple has been underperforming, and it's the largest part of Qs. The good news is that I don't have any risk in terms of Apple open, but we do have Microsoft calls, and we're starting to push now. So just a heads up to anyone that has those 340 calls, I'll make sure to type it up. If it starts soaring right now, for example, don't wait for us to tell you when to close. I am going to let you guys know. But again, focus on your portfolio first, not the Discord, because just get paid first. That's all I want. Take your money. Again, if we soar, maybe we get in the money here in a couple of minutes. It's going to be tough to kind of get a screenshot for you guys, tell you guys when to hold or when to close. We know what it is. We broke 38.42. We're going to go higher, more than likely in the money by the end of the day, maybe by the end of the hour. Is AMD good for an entry now, or would it be better to wait for the break of the downtrend on 13th of June? Let's take a look at AMD. Man, the hourly looks nothing. It looks like chop on the hourly. Good news, you're above the 20. If you're looking for an entry for the stock itself, I still think 100 is kind of that money level. 196, and again, this has nothing to do with technicals, but round number theory. For some reason, we human beings, and again, human beings still buy stock, that 99 cent or 199, when we buy something on TV or buy something, it's 9.99 or 99-cent menu. I don't think they have those anymore. But in regards to the number, round number theory, is that for some reason it's psychologically satisfying that those kind of targets like 95 or 100. I think once it gets to 100 on AMD, I mean, that's a level that I think is going to be pretty much defended like it did on August 25th. That might be kind of that wick psychological low. In terms of trading the stock, there is nothing to do here. I think you have to wait for 110 to break. Not even the 100-day would be enough for me, which is 108.82. You need 110.43. If that breaks, we've traded that. So again, 115 calls, you can play up to there. But as of right now, you're just sitting on your hands. It is up this morning to 108.53, but just still not enough. Just not good enough. I mean, I want something high probability that more than likely is going to hit. Here you go, Microsoft. Let's go over that trade rather quickly since I got you guys here. I'm going to go to premium signals. All right. Microsoft, where are you? Oh, we do have that XLE. There it is. There we go. Microsoft 340 calls. That was sent on the 11th, September 11th. I believe September 11th was a Monday. We're going to go to watch this in charts. Again, it's for this week. And then Microsoft, we had that bounce here. This is what I posted yesterday at 4 p.m. So again, I did an actual recap. And again, we know what we expected, 338.42. Great. Oh man, we're going to be in the money. Very cool. Is there SPY upside? Yes, there is. I do ES, obviously, but let's take a look at SPY. We're going to go with the daily. Do we have anything? The daily 449.14. We're right around here. 451.76 gets interesting. Might be able to crack that. Just $2 more. We would need a little bit of a move. What level would that be exactly? I have my fib lines here based on the weekly. Here's your October lows. Here's your highs. So again, you can always inverse how you want. 786 fib is at that level, 451.73. That would be a level I would want to break. And again, I'm not the hugest, oh my God, I base everything on fibs. It's just a good roadmap. So put that alert on SPY. Yes, I believe it has more upside. Really nothing has changed there. The good news that I see here is that the dollar's elevated and the stocks are still going up. I wonder if Microsoft had any kind of headlines, but I'm gonna let you guys know on Discord later after I'm finished here on YouTube. I'll let you guys know about the Microsoft trade. Hey, make sure to get out. So if you guys are here from the premium signals or basic, again, don't wait for anything. Microsoft banks, you hit it. XLE pulling back slightly. I'm a little gun shy about XLE, and I love the trade because oil's up, like we've been talking about. But yesterday we got that stupid fall this in the morning, so just a heads up. So with that being said, wanted to close up the video. We do have the annual plan for sale for signals. Again, includes options, futures, Forex, watch list charts, all the news, and of course the live market blog with me. We'd love to have you on board. There's the coupon code GAR500. So there's a difference between paying $199 a month and $999 for the year. You're talking about a 60% savings. And again, you get the whole deal. So we'd love to have you aboard GAR Capital. Come on, Microsoft. Maybe Microsoft will pay for the annual plan. How's that? Have a great rest of your morning. I will see you guys tomorrow for the morning note. Vikings and Eagles tonight. Should be a good game on NFL Network. Confidence is on the Eagles, obviously. Eagles are a great team. I'll take the Eagles to win. We'll see what happens. Have a great rest of your day, guys. Cheers.